Any sound now? Okay, that's what it is. All right. Got a million bajillion things going on here, but everything's good. All right, so we're live. There's sound. And Erica, if you can do me a huge favor and message the folks who are waiting on us in the Innate Creatives Facebook group. For some reason, StreamYard is having a hard time streaming to groups now. It's something going on with their system. So if you could just let them know to join us on YouTube, that'd be perfect. Awesome. And I was just talking about B. Clark. I just was stating that she said she can't wait to see this template. She's a survivor that's been in remission for 14 months now. So that's a huge deal. Um, Congratulations, blessings to you. And thank you for sharing your story with us and being here with us for this momentous occasion to celebrate that for you. All right. So y'all know what it is now. Coach's Corner is a wonderful opportunity to share with you all the coaches that have been through the academy, through the Innate Academy, who've shown their work with the templates, who can flip templates like a pancake, like nothing. And they are able to help you in so many different capacities. Vicki can help you if you just need a PDF and you just need the artwork done. She can help. If you want someone to be able to do one-on-one sessions with you, you can. She charges by the hour, just like most of our coaches who do one-on-ones now. We have that option. It's just I'm not able to do the one-on-ones. So I place some people who I really trust. I've seen their work. I see them in class, almost every single class. And I know that they're capable of helping you through getting through the templates and learning Photoshop as well. She also does large format prints. If you're looking to get the wide format prints done, she can help with that as well. So one-stop shop. She has blanks. I think today you're going to show off your Tumbler blanks, right? Oh, you know what? Matter of fact, go ahead and turn your mic on for me. And Vicki, you look so gorgeous today. I don't know if I told you that yet. You look amazing.
Okay, I had to figure out. I'm not used to.
There you go. And I
So
can hear
hello,
you now.
everybody. Hi. Yes, I am going to be showing off. I'm going to be showing how to make this 20-ounce tumbler today, I hope.
No, you will. You will. This is going to be good stuff. I'm excited. All right. So it looks like everybody can hear us now. And Vicki, I'm going to let you go ahead and take this away. Are you doing the artwork or are you doing the physical demonstration? What you doing?
I'm going to do the artwork, and then hopefully we'll have time to demonstrate the tumbler being made off of the artwork. So I am going to share my screen.
All right. And I'm waiting on that part.
So can you see my screen?
I was just letting you know I'm adding it to the stream and I muted myself. And you have the complete floor right now. And if anything comes up comment wise, I'll report that to you so you can just focus on designing. Okay.
Awesome. Okay. So I am going to be flipping the Girlfriend's Thick and Thin. This is the watercolor template from Innate Designs over to a cancer awareness. I have someone who's very dear to me who is currently battling colon cancer. And so that that's the theme for today's template. And so the colors for colon cancer is the color blue. And so the first thing that we'll be working through is adding in, and I've already added in the cancer awareness symbol. I've already removed the background. and prepared this as the backdrop to everything that we'll be working off to flip this template. So the first thing we want to do is change the size. I'm going to have this as an all over shirt that I'll be sending to her along with the tumbler. And I wanted to make sure that this was able to be added to her gift. And so once I get this kind of in a space that I would like for it to be in, then the next thing I want to do is select the color pick tool and pick this color. So you can see down here at the left side of the screen that the color blue is picked up, because now I want to start converting all of the watercolors. So I'm going to go down to those layers where the watercolors are, and go back to the move tool here. So I'm going to be changing all of the colors to some shade of blue. So basically for these color changes, I'm going to select the color overlay that's already set up in the template. And I think I'm going to leave that there right now. Oh, wait. So I wanted to point out that you see this exclamation point. That means that if I go to print, that color is not there. So I'm just going to click on that and it'll give me a color that's similar. So now that that's changed, I'm going to say okay to that one. And then I'm going to go to the next color. So color 2, again, I'm going to click on the color overlay. And this is fairly simple. And I'm going to click on this color. And this is a lighter pink. So I am going to click my blue, but I'm going to make sure that I pick a lighter shade of blue. Somewhere around there. I think I like that. So then the last color I'm going to change is color 1. So I'm already down here where the colors are. So I'm going to click that overlay as well. And that's kind of a hot pink color. So again, I'm going to go back to this same shade of blue and just play around with some colors until I get something that I think I like. So I'm going to go with that for now. And then the next thing that I want to do, now that I have the watercolors and the glitter changed, I want to take my Cancer symbol, and I want that to be like a just a watermark in the background. So I'm going to go up here to the opacity, and I'm going to just bring that down a little bit to about maybe like a 60, maybe like a 60. So that's kind of there in the background, but it's not necessarily a solid bright color. So now I want to go to the photos, and I have already pre-selected my photos again, and I've dragged those in. I already removed the background on the photos that I chose to use, and then I placed them inside the folder. So basically, where you see the Angela Davis image that comes with the template, I just basically clicked on there and then added my photo so that they're on top here, so that I know that they're in the general area. And then I can turn off the eyeballs for that one. And then now I have my photos here. And one thing that you guys probably have heard Shanon say time and again is that she doesn't like those harsh lines. So I have come to be a fan of getting rid of those kinds of lines. And so the first thing I want to do is go ahead and add a mask to my photo. I'm at about bringing the, I'm selecting the brush tool to bring that up to about a 495, close to 500. Photo here. So I wanted to just kind of take off the harsh line over here on her arm. And then at the top of her hair, this picture that I used did not have, it was kind of cut off, or the top of her head was cut off. So I'm there's a fancier way of adding hair back and kind of or if you're dealing with faces that are kind of cut off. And I've walked through that before, but since this is just her hair, I can just take some of the edges off of that. And I'm going to reduce the size of my brush and just add a little bit back. I'm going to take too much off. Awesome. And so now that I have my photos added into the template, I'm going to next work on the wording or the text. And so the theme for this particular flip is fighting cancer like a boss. And so I'm going to start off with the girlfriends, and I'm going to just type in the word fighting. And then with this one, of course, I want to change out the color. So this one, basically what I did, and as you will kind of see a theme here, is that with this template, you'll see that the color pink is in the color overlay. So I just removed the color overlay. I just clicked that off here and it took it off. And so now I'm working with a more of a kind of grayish, silvery kind of color. So I'm okay with that. And then I wanted to center this a little bit up in here. That pink line designate that this is in the center. And then the other thing that I wanted to do is change out the word thick here. I'm going to double click on that text and type in the word cancer. And again, here I want to change out the colors. So I'm going to go to the overlay. I'm going to click off that color. And then this one, I did do a gradient adjustment. And so I clicked into the gradient and I just picked up my color blue is still over here to the left. You can see down here in the bottom, picked up that blue. And then I wanted it to be a little bit more noticeable in, see if I add. So I'm just making adjustments to the colors here. And I'm going to click OK to lock that in. And so I like that. And then the last thing that I need to change out is the word and thin. And here I added the words like a boss. And so as you can tell that because this is a longer word than and thin, I'm going to have to make an adjustment here. So of course, I'm going to Control T to select the box so I can shrink the size of this. And one thing I want to point out is that there's on the shirt template, you'll see this kind of dotted box around on the shirt. That is the center of the shirt. That is the safe area on all of the templates. So I'm going to kind of bring this to fit within that space so that I know I'm going to be working with a large shirt, but so you can see the different sizes on the shirts here. I know that this is going to be pretty much centered in my shirt if I'm working from this point. Now, the other thing with this one is this like a boss. It's kind of got a little bit of a gold color on it. And I, again, turned off the color overlay. And I'm just going to click on that so you guys can see. That's where that gold is coming from. It's in the color overlay. So I'm going to cut off that color overlay. And now it's changed into this kind of theme, color thing that I'm going with. And then the word cancer is the next word I need to work with to bring this down. And I want to center that just above like a boss. And then I'm going to Control T here. And I want to shrink this just a little bit so it's kind of still around the center of the shirt template. I'm going to keep that up just a little bit, about right there. So I'm liking this. What do you guys think? Looks fairly simple. All right, I can't see your comments, but I'm going to trust that you guys are with me. And now I want to go back to where my two photos are, and I'm going to select both photos because if you can see, they're kind of not centered. And I want to bring those over just a little bit so I can get those centered here. And this is pretty much how I flipped this template. And then I'm going to find my word fighting here, and I want to bring that over just a touch because I have one more little trick up my sleeve. And I don't know why fighting is down there. I'm going to bring that up here so it's right on top. All right. So there is one last item that I did add to this template. And whenever you hear about somebody fighting cancer, sometimes you'll see images where there's a young lady with boxing gloves on, or you'll see boxing gloves. And so I wanted to add that element to this template. So I Googled boxing gloves. I think I may have Googled fighting cancer and saw the boxing gloves. And I decided that I thought that would be a good element to have here. So of course, they're pink because breast cancer awareness tends to get probably more press, or you see that a little bit more. So things tend to be pink when you hear about cancer. But here I want to change these gloves to match the theme. So it's a smart object. Let me go back out of here because I think I moved a little bit too fast. Go back out of here. So the boxing gloves are here. You can see over here in the layers that the boxing gloves are here. This right here is a smart object. So I'm going to double click on that and open it up into a new window. And then here is where I want to now add an adjustment layer. And I'm going to do a hue saturation so that I can change the colors. And so I know Shannon is going to tell me this is a very, she says some of these moves are advanced. And to be honest, it is, because I've taken this in several classes and I've had to learn to kind of, how to get back to this feature within the template or when I'm bringing in other items. And so what I'm doing here is basically changing the color. And as you guys can see, I'm just basically sliding around within this hue saturation on the hue, the saturation, and the lightness to kind of get these boxing gloves to be a color that I think will match my theme. All right, so I think I'm okay with that. Maybe a little bit darker than maybe what I wanted. Let me see if I can lighten that up just a touch. Probably about right there. All right, so now in order for me to get this smart object to go back into the template, I'm going to have to do a little bit of a trick here. So I'm going to go back to layer and right click. And then I'm going to have to flatten this image down. And then when I close out of it, it'll say save. Yes, I want to save it. And guess what it did? It brought that white box in there, which I don't want that in there. So I'm going to right click on the image and I'm going to rasterize it. And rasterizing this image, basically, it's no longer a smart object. So if you look, you'll see you don't see that little box there anymore. And I'm okay with that. But then I'm going to select on the magic wand tool here and select the image and hit delete. And guess what? Now I have my boxing gloves in. They're pretty much along the color theme that I wanted here. So I'm going to now Control T. Bring the size of these up a little bit, turn them. just a touch. And I want to go back to my photos now because I'm seeing that I don't have enough space potentially for the gloves to fit in like I want them. So I'm going to, if I go to turn this into a 13 by 19, I want to make sure that things would fit. So I'm going to go back to the gloves, shrink them up just a touch. I think what I'm going to do is reduce the sizes of my photos just a little bit, just to get them back in the vicinity of this box here. All right. And then my logo is not as, it's not quite the size that I want that to be. So now I'm just going back fine tuning changes and edits that I've made to the template. So I want that to be seen. Now, if I have to go to resize this to fit a 13 by 19, of course, you know I'm going to have to do some more editing to shrink some things up to make sure everything is fitting. And then I want to go back to all right. So that is my version of flipping this watercolor template over to a cancer, colon cancer template. And next, I want to share with you guys, like if you wanted to now take this design and convert this over to, let's say, a tumbler, and you wanted to, or a pillow or anything else, you would need to make some other adjustments, right? So I've already printed this out and I'm ready to press this so I can send it as a all over shirt. But now I want to turn off some of these elements in here that I don't need, because I'm going to now show you guys how to flip this over to use it for a tumbler. And so I have over here, if you see at the top, a 20-ounce tumbler template. I've already moved it over here, so I won't be showing you that part of it just for the sake of time. But I do want to show you guys how to get there. And so basically, most of the templates have already built into them the 13 by 19. And you see right here where it says watercolor background. I'm going to shrink up the all over shirt so that I can show you that. So the 13 by 19 watercolor background is here. I'm going to open the eyeball on that one, and it's going to open up that template. So now, of course, you know, I would have to then cut off the eyeball to this one. So some of these colors in here are not changed. So I'm going to have to open up the 13 by 19 and do the same thing. Go down and find out where the colors are not the colors they should be. I'm going to go back over here and select the colors that I need to have for my design. I think that one is probably okay. So it must be number 1 where I'm pulling this pink. So again, that was fairly simple to convert the 13 by 19 over. And then again, I do want to turn back on the t-shirt template. You see how all of this stuff I have hanging outside of that. I think I might be okay. I did do some adjustments. I shrunk the pictures a little bit. I did shrink this cancer sign here a little bit to get everything to kind of fit, so that it would fit inside this space. So I did make some adjustments. And once I completed all of those adjustments, I went ahead and selected the over here. Well, obviously we need to turn off this template, and as well as the one that says keep on from printing, because we're not printing a shirt. And then came down to the 13 by 19 folder. Let me find it here, which is here. So I shrunk that up so that I didn't have so many things open and I could find things a little simpler. Or did I just open it? No, I shrunk it. So everything basically here, the text, I'm going to shrink that up so this looks a little simpler. So I have my text images, I have the boxing gloves, I have the cancer awareness symbol here, and the 13 by 19. So there's one item here, this text image that's in the middle there, that eyeball is not turned on. So I'm not going to select that. So what I do is I select the first image, and then I hit Control and then select all of the other images. And then I just right click and group those into one folder. And I would call that, I would say maybe my cancer artwork. Then once that's done, I just need to take this right here and drag this over then to the Tumbler, and I would drop it here. And so I'm going to do that just so you guys can see. I already have it in here, so it's giving me a little bit of a challenge to do. But basically, it comes in, it's a little bit larger. So then I would have to Control T and then shrink everything down to fit to this size for this tumbler. And so that's how I converted the template, and that's how I converted the template once I converted it to my artwork over to fit the tumbler. So Shannon, that's all I have for that part of this session. Are there any questions or comments that folks have?
I see everybody saying positive stuff. Looks good. Great job. Looks great. Love it. Of course. All positive vibes. Let's see. And then any questions? I think Erica let them know which template and everything that was. So perfect. Yeah, so we're ready. So you're actually going to show us how to make one of these, right?
I'm going to attempt to, yes.
This so, is the first time ever. We've never made a tumbler before, and I'm actually interested in learning because I bought a tumbler press. I'm going to be buying some tumblers from you, and I hope the community is buying some tumblers too, so that we can get amped up for this.
Awesome. So I do not have a tumbler press as of yet. What I like to do is, as you can see behind me, I have this is a Hamilton Beach convection oven. This is the method.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is the method that I use.
Okay.
And so I did pre-print out the template. So so we're ready to roll there. So I just want to talk a little bit about just tell you guys how these tumblers come. So it comes already in a bag like this. It's a bubble wrap. And that is actually inside of this box. And the tumblers that I have 15 ounces and I have 20 ounces. This right here is the 20 ounce tumbler, which is the one that we're going to be working on today. And then some of the other supplies that I have to go, that I'm going to be using to make the tumblers. I have my printout using True Colors ink, of course. Love that ink. And then also, I have a tape dispenser here because I do tape my tumblers. And then I do have a shrink wrap bag that I put around my tumblers once I get those prepared. Once I get everything taped down, and then I have a heat gun here, and I just use this, or you can use a blow dryer to shrink wrap onto the tumbler. So those are the supplies that I have. Now, I know people do have challenges sometimes with trying to get these tumblers right, trying to get everything set up the way it needs to be. So what I'm going to do is talk to you guys a little bit about these tumblers and how to get them set up. Sorry, I had to get my heat gun plugged up. I thought I had that done, but obviously I didn't. So what I always tell people is to make sure that when you print your image out, make sure that the image fits the tumbler. And what I mean by that is I cut my image down to the size of my tumbler. I measure the tumbler so I know, and each time, once I get a batch of tumblers in, I know that they're pretty much going to be the same, so I don't really worry about it. But every time I get a new batch, I always measure again, because what happens is if it's slightly off, if it's slightly taller, you're going to run into problems when you go to shrink wrap, and then people get a lot of the lighter areas of the ghosting and they're kind of upset and my tumblers didn't work and whatnot, right? So I'm just telling you guys that now. What I do with mine is I look at my image, I turn it upside down, and then I take my tumbler and turn it upside down, and I sit it down on the surface, and I let I put the printout onto the tumbler, and I make sure that the top of the tumbler, so I don't have that white edge, is covered. And then I take my template or my printout, and I kind of just pull it tight like this, and I really just roll it as tight as I can. And I tend to hold it up against my leg or something like that, and then I get it as tight as I can get it. Once I get this seam, I kind of just keep pushing on it to make sure there's no air. And the key here is no air. You can't have any air between your template, your printout, and the tumbler, or you're going to get those light spots. And then I take my tape and I just start taping down that seam. So that's how I do mine. And as I'm going down, I continue to just keep pushing this tumbler, or this the paper around it tight, to get it to be as tight as I can get it, because that's where people run into problems, is trying to get this taped and trying to make sure you don't have any air. So it doesn't take that long when you get used to it. Of course, you know, I'm online, so, and I'm doing this video, so I'm not going as fast as I probably usually would go. So again, I'm pushing this tight, making sure that there's no air, and I'm taking tape. And I like this tape dispenser that I use because it pre-cuts the tape, so I don't have to keep trying to pull the tape and trying to do this at the same time. Then once I get all of that done, I just kind of double check to make sure that my edges are covered. And then I get my sleeve here, open that up, and I go ahead and slide the tumbler in here. So Shannon, I know you said that you have one of these kind of ovens. I have done this without this. You just want to make sure you tape it real tight, and just, you know, tape as tight as you can. I have done tape around the other way, just to make sure. Some people use bands, but if you don't have these sheets, these shrink wrap, you can get shrink wrap. Some people have got shrink wrap from, like, I want to say the dollar store, and they've used that. I didn't like that. I tried that before and it kind of melted. It did a funky thing. So it did shrink around the tumbler, but I just didn't like the way it kind of worked out. So now what I do is I just try to go ahead and turn my heat gun on, and I just run it up and down the tumbler. And you can see it's shrink wrapping around the tumbler. And it's basically giving you some extra layer of security here. It's just making sure that paper is tight, or the shrink wrap is tight around the tumbler. So once I get that done, it doesn't take very long to do. I just make sure I look around the tumbler and see if there's any spaces that I need to go back through and hit again. And with this one, I think I didn't really cut this paper down to the exact size of the tumbler. So I'm going to show you guys if you can see that. See how I got these little, like right here, you see those little bends? That's because the paper is not exactly to the size of the tumbler. That will create for you problems with your sublimation onto tumblers. I'm not going to worry about it. I've worked with these enough to kind of know how to handle it. The one thing that I don't have right here, right now, are some heat gloves. So I'm going to step away and grab those really quickly here. But let's talk a little bit about the oven. So I have my oven. First of all, I have a oven thermometer, which you'll see over there. And when I look at it, it's reading 400. Now, when I look at my temperature on the oven, I have it set at about 350. So this oven is burning at 400, but it's set at 350. So when you hear people say get an oven thermometer, if you're using a convection oven, it is important. When I first started doing this, I was messing stuff up and was wondering what was going on. So that was the one thing that I did add, and I found out that my temperature needs to be set about 350. And then I just put my tumbler in for about 7 minutes, 6.5 minutes, something like that. And I close it, and I just after half the time is up, I go ahead and I take the tumbler and I turn it on the other side. And so what you see inside the tumbler, this little green thing, that's one of my wraps for my mugs. I don't like sitting my tumblers on the rack. Yeah, because that rack, I haven't had an issue before, but I just kind of feel like it might press in those spaces a little bit much and give some problems with the tumbler's colors. And so I just have that I have that silicone wrap in there, and that just kind of helps to make sure everything is good. So I usually set a timer here, which I'm trying to get to now. And I'm going to go and grab my mitt because I don't want to burn myself when I go to flip this thing around. So I will be right back. Shannon, I know you probably have some things that you want to talk about the coaches. So I'll leave that to you while I go and grab that mitt.
Yeah, go ahead. Can you all still hear me? All right, so while Vicky is grabbing that stuff, I just wanted to chat with you all briefly. We're having some workshops that we're doing local to you all. Most major cities, we're going to do our part to make our way around. We'll be in Atlanta on the 11th. We also have a date set up for Chicago, for Los Angeles. We have one set up for Houston, Texas. So we're not skipping anyone. We're just doing the ones that had the most requests, and then we're making dates for those so that we can come around and do this type of thing with you all, like in person. A lot of people learn better in person. But what we're doing, the part of the academy is digital, and then there's a part of the academy that, yes, you're going to have to heat press things and you want to, get your hands dirty. We'll be available to do that. Yes, and Tanya is one of our coaches as well. She'll be there in Atlanta. Vicky will be in Atlanta. So this will be an opportunity for you to also meet the coaches, kind of get your feel for whatever it is that you need input on, because some people just need to be in the space where they can ask the right questions and seek those proper answers. So I definitely want you all to join us on these workshops. And it's a full day from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. We are definitely, jam-packed fun with sublimation in Photoshop. We have one coming up 9/23, which is here in Jacksonville. And that one is for folks who have never even touched Photoshop, don't really want to do Photoshop, but want to learn how to do all over sublimation. We're using the Sawgrass printer for that one. Heat Transfer Warehouse is partnering with us on that one. So if you're really just, wanting to either learn how to use your SG-1000 or SG-500 to do these same sublimation projects, or if you just are brand new to sublimation in general and you just want like a full day of getting your feet wet, this is definitely the workshop for you. And that was 9/23. All the other workshops you don't have to have Photoshop. But if you want to partake in the Photoshop session, which what we do is we allow you to play with one of our Photoshop templates, and you get to go in there and pull in your own logo and make a license plate and a little koozie that goes onto a drink or your water bottle to promote your business. So basically, you get to do the same the same sublimation processes, but there's an added bonus that you get to learn how to use the Photoshop templates. Whether you're just fresh to Photoshop or not, we'll be able to work through all that with you. All right, I think Vicky's back with us.
I am.
All
Hi.
right.
Look what I
Yes.
got.
Oh, and pretty heat gloves too.
Yes, I have some smaller ones that fit my hand, but I like to use these because they're bigger and I know I have less chance of getting burned. Like
Amen.
I do have scars to show for heat.
Oh no! Well, you know that those are our little battle wounds, right?
Yes, yes, yes. So I'm pulling this out. I don't know if you guys can kind of, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but you'll start to see the image showing through the paper. I don't know if you can see it just yet. It needs to cook a little bit more. So up at the top where or at the bottom where I told you I had those areas where the paper could potentially leave some air pockets. I've learned a little trick to just kind of between my turns, I just kind of push on that a little bit to make sure that that is, if there's any air in there, that it comes out. So
you
that's
kind
one
of
of the
rolling that edge with the heat glove on.
I'm sorry. Yes, that's why I had this glove. Yes.
Gotcha.
So I won't burn my hands. But this is kind of how I do so that when it goes back in the next time, if there was any air in there, it'll get those areas. So the last time when I laid it in, I use these right here, these little, I don't know if you guys can see that. See those little holes? That right there was laying down towards the bottom. So now I'm going to turn it up over towards the top. So this time it'll be laying in this way.
Okay.
So that's how I turn mine.
Okay.
And a lot of times people ask people, how do you turn it? Like, what do you do? What do you mean by that? Are you standing it up? Are you flipping it over? I roll mine and I lay it. So I left my oven door open, so my temperature went down to about 300, which is okay. I'm just going to leave it in just a little bit longer and let that temperature rise up a little bit. And then it'll do another 3 minutes, and then we'll open it up and see the big reveal, right? So what questions do you guys have about using ovens, about tumblers? I don't know.
Let's see. I'm not seeing any messages, any questions yet. But if you would, Vicki, are you able to show us your what blanks you do offer, or tell us a little bit about the services and things that you offer as a business partner and coach?
Yes, I can. So as a coach, as a business partner, what I'm offering is coaching services. I'll also flip templates for folks, and that's a design service. And so I'll charge a fee for modifying a template. In this case, for me, it'll be a source file, and then send that over to you as a PNG. I also will offer PNGs that are designed that I may just kind of come up with, and they'll be on the website. But outside of that, we do offer print services. And so we have a 44-inch wide Epson printer that is also carrying True Colors ink. I am a fan of True Colors. I have also a 13 by 19 size printer, Epson 15,000 that also carries True Colors ink. I really, really value the product. I never go wrong when I'm using True Colors ink. I had some other inks and just had issues, no profiles, just kind of nobody really to help you. And Shanon since I've been working with Shanon, I've been taking classes with Shanon, I've converted some of my processes over and I don't have any issues. And so I'm super excited about that. So we do offer print files. We'll print files for you if you upload those and send them to us. We can print them. I'm in the Midwest, so I'm in Toledo, Ohio, which I'm about an hour away from Detroit, close to Illinois. I know Erica is in Illinois, so I'm close to that area, about maybe 4 hours or so away. And then I also have blanks. The blanks that I offer include tumblers. I offer baby items. I have baby bibs. I have bottles, baby bottles. I have sippy cups, 15-ounce tumblers, 20-ounce tumblers. We have jewelry. In fact, I think I have some of that back here behind me. I don't have everything up here, but you can see these come with a little template that you can put in here to supplement on. So we have different types of jewelry. You can see those at the website. I offer, see out of the side of the baby items, we also have pillowcases that we offer. We do graduation stoles. We have wallets, men's wallets available still. And we're going to be ordering some things in for the holidays. And so I'll be providing updates to those items once those are in. So that is pretty much what we offer. You can see a variety of the things that we offer if you go to crafterskingdom.com. That is our website. We also do have a custom business called Loveway Designs. But in this space, I guess I'm here to help work with other business folk. And so if you would like for us to make some custom items for you, of course we will, but I'm here to support folks just in terms of what you're trying to do with your business. So
that's perfect. Perfect pitch, Vicki. Boy, y'all, but she does an amazing job. She's been with us from the very beginning of the academy, just absorbing and learning and adding her own thing. She is absolutely an amazing teacher as well. She's extremely patient. If you think I'm patient, Vicki's just as patient as me. And she's very, very calm with how she approaches any problem. And most times you're going to be able to get like pretty much what I would do for you one-on-one with Vicki. And that was my whole aim, because I know I can't clone myself, and y'all know I'm not in too many places at one time. I can't multitask. So and right now Vicki is actually getting to where she's able to not only just modify templates, but she's able to create her amazing artwork on her own, and that speaks volumes about what she's been doing. So I just want to say thank you, Vicki. I appreciate everything that you've been doing, not just to get better and talk about how things have been improving for you, but to help others improve as well, because you see the value in that, and I appreciate that.
yes, and I guys, if you're not a part of the academy, and you're one of those, that's my timer. I always have a timer when I'm doing tumblers because you can burn them. A burnt tumbler turns brown, by the way. So if you ever want to know if your tumbler is not working out, the colors are not right, it ain't the ink. So if this don't come out right, it ain't the ink, y'all. It was user error. I didn't do something right. So I am going to sit this here for a second while I close up this hot oven, because it's hot. Okay, I don't know if you guys can see now. Let me.
I do see a
You
little.
see the image?
I see the face there.
That's how you know that your tumbler is pretty much done. You'll start to see the image come through.
Right.
So I have a picker, y'all. And I'm getting ready to pick off this. See, I pulled off the top there. So this is that the shrink wrap. So those little dotted lines are supposed to release when you pull them, but of course, you know, it's not gonna be that nice and kind to me. So this tumbler is fairly hot, so I'm not trying to burn myself live on YouTube.
Don't do it.
That would be horrible. You guys will see me disappear, and I won't come back.
No, you're gonna be back, Vicki. They love you already. You coming back.
So so one thing that I'm trying to get into is creating. So now I got that off. Now I'm going to, what I tend to do when I'm working with my tumblers, because I'll be liking to waste tumblers or be baking them for another 400 degrees to reuse them. So I tend to pull off my tape slow. I don't just rip stuff off and be like, oh, let's see the big reveal. No, not me. I'll pull it back and I'll kind of take a peek to make sure things were burning well.
Right.
Before I just pull it all off. Because if I have to bake it a little bit more, I'd rather be in that space than having to, pull another tumbler So that's just one of my little tricks. Hey, really nice. Y'all ready for the big reveal?
Let's see it.
Voila.
Woo, woo.
See that?
That is gorgeous.
So this is that template. You can see I don't have any line. Well, maybe a little bit. Just a tiny bit right there, the seam line.
Oh, that looks perfect. I don't see a line, but if you see it,
It's tiny. Sometimes when you have colors that meet where that seam is, Shannon, and I'll show it to you because I'm a perfectionist, so don't mind me. But I'll show it to you. So do you see this little like line right there? It goes. It's kind of a little bit light. People, if I'm giving this to somebody, they're not gonna see it.
right.
But I'm just letting you guys know I'm aiming for it. I don't want to see a line.
Gotcha.
So that's the perfectionist in me. But you guys see those colors? I see those true colors.
Give it to me.
Hey, hey.
That true blue. I'm telling you.
Yes. And so this is still really hot, but you guys can see how there's not a white line at the top of the tumbler. That's why you turn it upside down. You cut the image down, you cut the paper off to the top of your image, turn it upside down, and then measure how much you need to cut off the bottom before you wrap the tumbler. That way you get a good fit. That is the key to making tumblers and making sure you get them tight. So I just got to press her shirt, and I'm going to be mailing this baby off to her. So that is my class, my coaching session, and I hope you guys enjoyed. I managed to get through this without burning myself. I am getting ready to turn this oven off, though, because it was on before we got in here, and I was burning up.
I feel you.
Not to mention the nerves, right?
I know. Well, Vicki, I have to say you did a beautiful job, wonderful job. The artwork was on point. I love your personality. It's glowing, it's infectious, and it made everybody feel comfortable and happy to learn from you. So I'm just giving you your kudos.
Oh, thank you.
You did an amazing job, and I'm sure everyone else agrees. I see nothing but positive comments here.
Aww.
So I definitely, I want to see you all support Vicki. Let's grab some of these tumblers. Let's show her what we learned from this lesson. And also, Vicki's in our Innate Creatives Facebook group. It's easy to get in contact with her in order to get any help that she can provide for you to help grow your business, because this is what we're here for. It is a community effort, and we're really doing our best to not only just, hoard all of this content that we've learned over time, but to share it with you all. Okay. So
I will say, whoever's going to Atlanta, I will be in the ATL.
Woo! Yes.
I can't wait to get to that space. So if you haven't signed up, I'm gonna tell you, like, in terms of business, you have to invest in yourself. I've been investing. I remember when I first signed up, I didn't want to convert over to, I was in the membership. I became a VIP because I was like, no, I need to be in this live. I need to see this stuff happen. Watching the videos was cool, and I knew I could learn, but I was like, nah, I took one live and it was over. I switched over after my first month, and I haven't looked back since. And I hope you guys can see the level of skill. Like, I tried to add in some elements that I knew, like, it took me a minute to catch it, but once I got it, I was like, yes. Shannon showed us how to take images and change the colors on. That changed the game.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, because it's just, for me, my whole world in terms of my business had changed since I've been rocking with NA Lab. So if you have not signed up, I'm gonna tell you, get in the classes. If you can't do the live, you can't do the VIP, then do the monthly membership where you get the classes up front, and then you unlock some every month. It's worth it. It's worth every piece of penny that you would spend for it. So
thank you for
that's
that.
my last shameless plug over here.
We appreciate it, and I appreciate you. Like I said, I've been seeing your growth from the very beginning, and even in the very beginning, you were always so intent with what you were doing. So I could tell from the very beginning, like through doing the academy courses, you've put your all into it. You are definitely investing in your business, and the payoff is definitely worth everything that you've put into it, not just, I understand you giving me my props on the templates, but Vicki, you have worked hard and you have consistently worked at what you do. And that is one of the keys as well. We don't want to just throw tools at you. We want to teach you how to use the tools. We want to teach you how to implement those tools, and we want to teach you how to grow your businesses. So this isn't just let's cool, let's craft. This is, let's build business, let's break bread, let's figure out how to get away from these 9-to-5s at some point in time. That's all of our goals. So this is just a small part of that. The design and implementing those designs is just a small part of helping everyone to grow their businesses and see it to a position where it is its own 6-figure or better business. So I'm still speaking that on everybody that's here. Everybody that watches this, everybody that's in the academy, everyone who even just logs onto YouTube and takes a look at this video, I'm speaking that on your business, because this is essentially what we need to be independent and to be able to make our own coins. That's it. All right, love. So we have to log off. We love Vicki. Vicki's been great. I'm going to log back in for a 3:00 session to kind of show you all what we're doing at the 923 workshop. So if some of you want to come back for that and see what we're doing socks, license plate, a t-shirt with the sublimation image, adding some bling, teaching you how to do all overs from the 13x19s in the split template. So y'all make sure y'all tune in for that. That way you can ask questions on any of those processes and let me know what it is that you want to learn. All right. Okay, loves. Well, I will literally be like right back. But love y'all. Bye.
Bye.